What is up, everybody? Welcome to DealMachine, fresh out of the lab. It's your girl, Elise here, and also with our wonderful head of engineering, Adam. And then we also have our head of product on the other side, Nate.
Hey, guys.
We're going to wait a couple minutes for people to get on. If this is your first time joining us, please, or even if it's not, please put your where you're located at, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear where you guys are located. But what this is we're going to dive into what we have released, big releases within this last quarter. And then we're going to show you some demos on how they work, some use cases of why you would want to use them. And maybe you just haven't noticed that they're there. So we're really excited because we actually get to talk about, why it was built, how it was built, and all the kit and caboodle behind it. So again, please put where you're watching from. We're going to go over today custom fields, which is a very new release, custom pipeline, comps calculator, and assigning routes. So really excited about this. So Adam, do you want to do a quick introduction of yourself? And also Nate, we'll go first with Adam.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name's Adam Atkinson. I'm the head of engineering for DealMachine. I'm responsibility for all of the wonderful engineers that develop this great piece of software for us. So it's a wonderful job to have. We have a great team. We're continuing to add to the team as DealMachine grows. So, it's an absolute honor not only to work for this company, but to work for these developers and engineers that we have on our staff, making this product the best it can possibly be every single day. So, yeah.
Love it. And then Sir Nate.
You're muted.
Oh, wait, you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. I'm a knight, apparently. Did you just benight me? Is that the correct verb? Hi, everybody. My name is Nate. I am the head of product for DealMachine. My main job is to be worried about your problems and pain points, right? The head of product is responsible for developing our roadmap. That is to say, our plan for how we're going to enhance DealMachine, what new products and services we're going to offer, as well as how can we continue to augment our existing features to help solve the problems that you have. So I desperately want to talk to you. I love talking to our customers. I spend a good chunk of every week on the phone with people, hearing what you're trying to accomplish, right? So I read the feature upvote portal, which is a great kind of low friction way to get engaged. But you can also reach out to me, nate@dealmachine.com, anytime. And so it's my job to present your problems to Adam and his team so that they can develop solutions to help make you more profitable, more efficient, and to really solve the problems you have in your business.
All right, so you guys have been able to meet the team. Again, as you guys come on, please tell us where you're watching from. I'd also love to hear how long y'all have been with DealMachine. We're super excited to be able to tell you guys these things. We're going to go ahead and dive in, but as we do, please feel free to ask Nate and Adam questions about the product that you're seeing these demos today. I will be showing them after the main portion of them talking about each one. So between each one, we will have the questions answered. So first things first, we're going to dive into custom fields. And this is very new, so I'm excited for everyone to kind of see this.
Yeah, absolutely. So custom fields are part of a new set of functions that we've added to really help you customize your business more. Custom fields are available for our pro members. You can have up to 3 custom fields, or to our elite members that can have an unlimited number of custom fields. Sometimes folks ask, well, why can't I do custom fields on the starter plan? Well, this is really kind of an advanced technique and focus. So we don't want to overwhelm new beginning users with adding a whole bunch of extra data. Our system already provides an insane amount of data about properties, right? That we're pulling in from county records and from other places. And there's also other ways that you can indicate that properties are exciting and important to you, right? Using our tag functionality, for example. But if you have a little bit more experience and you've been using maybe other systems that you want to integrate with, and there's really specific data points that you want to bring into DealMachine, or that you want to make sure that your drivers are capturing, that's really where custom fields become really valuable. I'm going to do my best to show you real quick how easy this is. Let's share my screen here. So if you go to the settings function of your app, if you are a pro or an elite member, you can see custom lead fields. These will add special fields onto your app. So we have you name a group first of fields. And the reason why we want to name a group is so that those fields show up together, clustered, right? Maybe, excuse me, there's 3 or 4 fields that are related that DealMachine doesn't have that you want to make sure you add. You can add a group name for those fields so that on the property lead card, those fields will show up close to one another. And then you click add field. So you can name the field. So this could be something as silly as a roof color, right? If you are really into tracking a very specific thing and you want to get that data point, you can add the field name, and then you can either have a single line of text, a multiple line of text if you expect that field to have, you know, several different lines in there. You can do multiple choice. So if you wanted to do red, black, green, other, something like that, you can do numbers, or you can do date pickers. So when you add these custom fields, they will show up then in your lead view. So when you go to your leads, let's see if we can get one to show up really quick here. I'm using a test environment, so I'm always a little dicey. Here we go. Here's our custom field, roof color, and we can put in green. And now I'm able to track whatever extra kind of data I want to on top of what DealMachine already does. So again, this is available to our pro or to our elite users. And that's true whether it's pro or elite for either our list builder or our driving for dollars tool. So if you're looking for custom fields, if you say, hey, there's a lot of good data in DealMachine, but I actually want to capture a few more things that aren't in there, then custom lead fields are really the right tool for you. And then I want to show off as well our new status tool before I ask Adam a couple of questions. Our status tool, DealMachine comes kind of pre-built with certain statuses. There's all kinds of reasons for that, and a lot of that has to do with listening to users over time. But one thing that we've really seen, especially as we talk to our elite members, is that they have their own pipeline that they want their deals to flow through, right? So a custom pipeline is when you say, the way my company works is that we move leads from an investigation phase to a mail marketing phase, to a phone marketing phase, to an in-person marketing phase. And then we, you know, and you have your own way that you want deals to flow. Well, up until now, DealMachine has really kind of forced you into certain boxes. Well, now with our custom pipeline, you can actually rearrange the order that your statuses take place. You can get rid of statuses that DealMachine has that you don't like. You can also create your own status. We have certain status types that we think are pretty general, right? That apply to nearly everybody. Lead generation, that's that phase where I'm looking for properties. Marketing is the phase where I'm trying to get people engaged. Acquisitions is after someone's responded to me, now I'm in negotiation and I'm trying to get this property. Dispositions is, hey, I won my deal, right? Like I've got a signed contract. Now I'm in that phase where maybe I'm trying to decide how to move that property and recognize profit. So we say, hey, pick one of these statuses, these status types, or, you know, have one that you don't need. And then you can have your own custom status titles, such as door, knock, follow up. And you can add that in here, and you can move this to wherever you want to in your own custom pipeline. So the ability to create your own flow of properties and have that reflected in your own set of custom statuses. This is something available to our elite members. Again, it's a pretty advanced tool, but we're really excited about its potential. We'll continue to build this out. Later this year, we'll have custom dashboards and views for each one of these sort of status types so that you can see properties flowing through your own funnel as you've set it up. So that's custom fields and custom pipelines. They are pretty advanced features. They're not necessarily for somebody who's just getting into this for the first time, but they're more for, hey, I've already got a sophisticated operation. I've got ways of doing things. I'm new to DealMachine, but I'm not new to real estate investing. So this just helps those users join us with all their sophisticated processes right from the start. So Adam, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about these two features because they were both developed by our CTO, Dave Oster. You want to tell everybody a little bit about the two kind of funnels of work that we have going on here at DealMachine?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks, Nate. Great job on this presentation with custom pipelines and custom fields. It's awesome. But yeah, so here at DealMachine with the engineering department, we mainly have two flows of work per se. And actually we kind of have three if you consider the data team. But for engineering, for software development, we have two flows. The first flow is the main flow through our engineers, through our normal staff of engineers that we've hired from outside. And so yeah, they develop strategic features that we decide on. They fix things. They do the normal stuff that a software developer engineer would do for a software development company. And then there's a second flow of work that we have, and that's the work that Dave does, our CTO. Dave is the primary developer of the core piece of software that we're looking at here today. He basically created it from just a little bit more than an idea. So for these larger features, for these larger sort of pieces of functionality, that's where we kind of weigh on kind of the Superman of DealMachine that we call Dave. I mean, he is just a rock star. He's an amazing developer. He's an amazing human, and he can knock out a feature like this in much shorter time than, say, our entire engineering department could. It's not because they're any less of a developer. He just knows the system so much better. He knows where kind of all the bodies are buried, where everything needs to be hooked in. So
he's built it from the ground up, really.
Exactly. So that's why we leverage him and his abilities to work on these larger type features or larger overhauls, things like that. Definitely not a slight on the other engineers and developers. They're all great at what they do. We have this kind of ace in the hole with Dave that, man, we can lean on him to create these amazing new features in a really short amount of time. And really feels like it gives us that competitive advantage in a really crazy market right now.
No, you really put that well, and I agree. And even this custom fields and custom deal pipeline, these are just the first pieces of a larger body of work that Dave's putting together called workflows, which we're really excited about. This will be a whole new product within DealMachine, which will be able to help you automate really nearly every step of your business, integrate with other platforms, but also allow you to react in real time to changes in data. One of the cool things about DealMachine that's different from any other kind of traditional CRM system or any other place you might want to store your data is the DealMachine is constantly monitoring market conditions and changes. When our workflow product rolls out, you'll have the ability to have the system alert you, change statuses, trigger marketing, do all kinds of different things, create tasks, trigger a whole variety of actions off of that changing data. So you don't even necessarily need to be aware of the fact that, wow, a property sold and now there's a new owner. If you're sending marketing to a property with a new owner, your workflow thing could actually shut that marketing off, right? Like, oh no, this property just sold. I probably don't want to sell to that. I don't want to market to them. It's a way to save you money, save you time, and help you maximize deals and react to changes before any of your competitors. And that's just a sample of the kind of thing that Dave is working on behind the scenes, and that we'll be ready to show off to you the next time we do one of these fresh out of the labs.
I forgot I was muted. I love it. I'm so excited that you gave that sneak peek there. I'm really excited about just like the pipeline and how it's the groundwork. And anyways, if you guys have any questions, please, again, feel free to comment in the comment section. I will pull them up here. Really excited about this next part that Nate has pulled up right now. This is available to everyone. So this is really exciting. I'm going to go ahead and just let you take it away, Nate.
Yeah. So this is part of our comps add-on tool. So comps is a really cool add-on that we came out with back in March. It's a $20 add-on. It is available to any plan. What comps does is it will take any lead that you have and allow you to create conditions so that you can figure out, okay, here's a range of houses in similar square feet, same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms, a distance range, and figure out a sale date range, right? And it will return to you comparable properties to give you an idea. It's a great addition to a driving for dollar strategy. So when you come across a property in a neighborhood and you say, wow, this looks like a good target, what are other properties going for that are similar? Boom, your comps tool is going to help you out. What some of you are already aware of that. Comps has been a really good selling add-on for us. So I know a lot of people are using it. What we added to comps recently was this calculator. So before we would show you, hey, here's 8 properties that are similar to your property, and you could look at them and get an idea. Okay, oh, here's one that's 275,000. I like that comp, right? And or this one's 189. I don't like this one as much, but that at least would give you a rough idea. What the comps calculator does is it takes all of the similar properties, comes up with their average sale price, comes up with $1 per square foot calculation, and applies that to the square footage of the property that you have. So now we're giving you an estimated value. So let's say I look at this property right here and I say, I don't really like it. I don't think it's a good comp. And then I see this one at 275 and I say, no, this one also, this isn't a good comp. It's too far out of the norm. Well, now it's going to recalculate on the fly and give me a new estimated value. So if I'm looking at this property and I say, okay, its estimated value is $212,000 and change. I don't want to offer more than, 125 or 130, depending on what I'm going to do to the property or what kind of exit strategy I have, right? This is going to show me upfront with a little more intelligence and a little more accuracy other properties that have sold recently and give me a good idea of what I can bid on a property. So the comps tool was already awesome, but this is an example of something that we took without making it more expensive, without raising the price of it. We just enhanced it to give you just a little more value and just show a little more utility. And Adam, you mentioned the rest of our development team, how talented they are. This is an example of a feature that the rest of our dev team worked on. Why don't you talk a little bit about this idea of creating incremental value and how our team works to start something and then go ahead and enhance it and build on it and make it better? Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Nate. So, we could have kind of slated out this entire big feature you have with comps and then being able to select properties, being able to do a calculation for you. And that would have taken us, a month, maybe a month and a half to complete as a team. Whereas we decide when we see features like this that we want to add to our software, we decide we're going to try to break that up into chunks so we can actually get the core functionality out to our users much quicker. So that's exactly what we did. So the first chunk of work with this was actually getting the comps tab up there, getting the actual comp properties to come up, reshoot it out the door. Hey, we got a new comps tool out. And it helps get more features out to our customers quicker. I don't know if anybody ever on here notices, but we publish software every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks without fail, we are producing either we're fixing bugs, we're adding new features. We are pushing out software, a new release every 2 weeks. And this is part of that process and why we do it. So second phase of this was adding the calculation, being able to select and unselect properties. I can't remember quite. I don't know if the map was a part of the core functionality, but I think if I remember right, we kind of made some updates to the map too. So all these updates and new features, they come from the customers, from product side. It's like, hey, people are buzzed about comps. They really would like us to do this and this. Cool, let's do it. Let's roll with it. So yeah, that's just kind of how we iterate through our software development process and create new features as quickly as possible for our customers.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Adam. I mean, that really is the way that we want to work, right? You want to avoid big sweeping changes as much as possible. And our team does a really good job of keeping the end in mind, right? And of working incrementally. And a lot of times we'll present to them, hey, here's the big picture. Here's where this is going to go 3, 4, 5 months from now. But for now, we're going to start with just this one little piece. Another example of this is our new list driving functionality. So we are in the middle of rolling out some major enhancements to the way you assign work to your driving team. One of the things that we've heard from people, especially people that use our list builder, but really all of our driving teams, is that driving for dollars is great. It's an awesome strategy. We know it's super successful. But I would like to be able to better define for my drivers where I want them to drive, right? And we kind of, depending on what your own strategy is, we have 2 different streams of strategy types. We have folks that like to drive off of lists, right? They like to pull in lists from our list builder and say, okay, these are properties that meet certain data requirements that I have, right? Vacancy or absentee owner or pre-foreclosure, whatever kind of list they're pulling in. So they'll pull in a list of properties. Then they'll say, okay, I have these as leads. I want to validate those. I want to vet them. I want to have my drivers go by and tag them for damage, right? Some of our users have door knocking campaigns, right? So in this strategy, I know what my leads are, but now I need to go and drive them. Well, that can be really time consuming. You can give people a long list of properties, but then you're driving, you're crisscrossing, it's hard to find the right thing. So for those users, we've created list driving. So list driving is the first of multiple pieces that we're going to be building. Let me see if I can find you a good list example here with a few leads in it. Here we go. Here's one. Using our list builder, you can build a list. And when you have a list of properties, it's going to, if I clicked view list, it would jump back to our list view. And what you can do is you can say, okay, now that I've built my list of properties, I want to have somebody drive this list. You can assign this list. This will be available for our pro and our elite members. So if you have a pro driving for dollars plan, you can do this. If you have an elite driving for dollars plan, you can do this. And you can assign one of your drivers. So you can say, okay, I'm going to give it to Mike. I'm going to give him a due date to drive this list. I want it done by September 1st. I can create any other information, other details I want. And I can create a task for Mike. This is building off of our task feature that we used before. And so it's going to create a task for Mike. Then in my task list, I'll be able to see tasks for Mike Flaherty. So there I've got my drive this list. I can then see, what progress Mike's made on it. If there's any properties in it, he can mark it as complete when he's done, or when he's finished driving all of the properties, it will mark it as complete. For Mike, it'll show up on his turn-by-turn navigation. So if you used our old route planner mode, this is an enhancement to route planner. It will show Mike the fastest route between all these properties. It's a little hard. That's a iPhone, or that's a phone feature, so it's a little hard to demo it on a desktop right now. But it'll basically give Mike turn by turn. Here's the fastest route between those 17 properties, saving Mike time, saving money on gas, and allowing him to execute that more quickly. So we've taken kind of our classic route planner and added a twist. You can now assign that route to someone else to actually execute, and then follow up on their progress and see their progress as they're knocking it off. However, this is just the first kind of strategy that some people have when it comes to wanting people to drive specific areas. The other is what we call area driving. So if you're doing a classic driving for dollars strategy, but you want to limit where people drive to specific targeted areas. So I only want you to drive in this zip code or in this neighborhood. We're getting ready to build, and I'll ask Adam some questions about this in a second. We're getting ready to build a tool so that you can predefine an area that will tell your driver when he or she is outside of the area you want them to drive, warn them to, like, hey, let me guide you back so you can get back in the target area. It will run off the streets that they've already driven so that you can know that you've gotten full coverage of your target area. And this is because a lot of our users have that other strategy, right? They're looking for leads, but they only want leads in specific geographical areas. They don't want you just driving all over town. You want to be much more focused and targeted. And so that you can even assign those almost, sequentially. So you're making sure you're getting full coverage of an area. That feature is on our product roadmap, which is what we call, our plan for what we're going to do next. So I want to ask Adam just even about that process, about how the team sometimes will take a really big thing, like how do we assign driving to people? And now we've broken it up into two really big features, but they're being released at separate times. You want to talk a little bit about that process and how the team works through that? You're on mute.
I apologize. I can't believe I've only done it just once today. So
not
too bad. Yeah, exactly.
Proud of you, Adam.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yeah, when we have larger features like this, so we like to really plan and talk about those first, because Nate spends a lot of time developing our strategic roadmap and where we want to go and where we want to be. So it's our duty then to make sure that we can make those features the best they can possibly be. So a lot of times we'll actually spend an entire 2 weeks, not all engineers, but we'll assign kind of one engineer, or they'll step up to do it. And we'll actually do some pre-work. We call those spikes. We'll actually kind of do some research to see what is it actually going to take to produce this feature for our customer and make it a valuable tool, a valuable feature for them to use, and where you'll want it. So we'll actually take that time and dedicate a resource to determining what's it going to take from the back end, what's it going to take from the front end. We'll work with our UX designer to make sure, these are all seemingly going to work well together, and then they're going to work well with other pieces of our software. And we can do some reporting on this stuff. So we need to know how many people are using it, how quickly they're using it, when they're not using it. So we have a lot of factors that go involved, not just making this do that. So there's a lot of background work that needs to be done to get these features out and have them be a valuable piece of software. Next step would be, we try to do some of the back end work. We do some of the database work, the infrastructure work that'll get this to where we can actually do it. Then we'll create kind of the front end design of it, the UX, the screens that you guys see. And then we have to hook those all together. We have to hook the screens into the data and make it where it actually all functions together. And throughout that entire process, that's how we kind of deliver these larger features for y'all.
Love it. Awesome. You guys just literally got a sneak peek of what's coming up. That wasn't even, that was unscripted. So I'm super excited for next time when we do this. If you, again, are tuning in, we do this quarterly. And this is, again, our head of engineering and our head of product up above. So ask questions now. we are going to take some questions right now, and then we'll probably head off. But I do want to say thank you to Nate and Adam for taking time. They run they both have their own teams. They have a ton of stuff. As you can tell, they've created a lot of things. So I just really appreciate them taking time out to talk to our community. Yeah, I'm really excited about everything. And if you have any questions, please ask them now. I know I saw one from Tony about skip tracing and quality of skip tracing.
Can I talk about that one a little bit?
You
Elise?
sure can.
Yeah. So this was a really common request that we got a lot, especially earlier this year. And we took it really, really seriously. And so we actually did benchmarkings for a variety of different skip tracing providers. We work with at least 3 different skip tracing providers right now. And we did a good evaluation of our data source versus other data sources and made a switch. The skip tracing provider that we're going with now, we believe, according to all the tests that we've run, is providing really the best quality data that is available in the industry. It is important to keep in mind when it comes to skip tracing. Skip tracing isn't 100% accurate. It just can't be. It's not. That's not really even what skip tracing is designed to do. We are constantly evaluating that data quality. So I would put our skip tracing up against anybody's right now. But if you haven't used it in a while, we have changed providers, as was noted in the comments. We've actually lowered the price of it as well. We're really concerned with making that as accurate as it can be, but I do want everybody to understand, if you're thinking, hey, every time I run a skip trace, I'm going to return accurate data, you're going to be disappointed with any skip tracing tool, because that's not really a realistic benchmark. But please keep in mind, we are constantly evaluating it. We do want to provide you the best data that we possibly can and get that accuracy up into that 60-70% range. That would be like, that's the dream state, right? That's really, really insanely good. So that's really where we're striving to get to all the time. But even if you had, the best skip tracing that doesn't even barely exist, you're probably not getting too much higher than that, because of the nature of what skip tracing is, right? It's giving you leads and clues as to owners. And so you're always going to get out-of-date phone numbers and out-of-date emails. That's part of the process. So please keep that in mind as you're thinking about us or any other skip tracing provider. We have to be realistic about what our goals are.
I do want to add on there too, if you haven't used our skip tracing in a while, we've done major things to also show you which lines are disconnected already. We have caller ID on there, so you can actually match up to see if this even sounds like or matches the name on the actual property, which will save you a ton of time. And my favorite too, because sometimes I like to be different and do emails, it does the same thing with emails. If that email's been inactive for a while, like it's going to give you a little like, hey, just so you know, this probably isn't like active at the moment because there hasn't been a lot of activity. So you get that added screening through DealMachine, because we not only skip trace it, we put it through to see, is this connected? Is this a landline? Is this mobile? Who is this on? It even tells you the cellular plan that they're on. So it's a lot. Tony looks like he responded back.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate your response. And it's awesome. It's great to have, multiple options and multiple providers. We are always working as hard as we can to bring the cost down and the accuracy up. So I really appreciate that feedback, and it's totally fair. I just always encourage people to not get stuck in an impression that might have changed since then, because we are constantly working on improving.
I mean, it wasn't even, maybe it was a year ago. But we've gone from 99 cents postcard skip tracing now down to 14 cents, which blows my mind. And that just shows that, you could have kept it at that, but we wanted to provide you guys with better pricing and more fair. So that way it's like we're giving you good quality. Tony, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you have any other questions, please do feel free to reach out to us through customer support. Milton,
What was that? So Milton's question, any plans to run the phone numbers returned by skip trace against do not call lists? That actually happens now. We already run all numbers against the do not call lists. Keep in mind, the do not call lists are not real-time accurate. Just the National Do Not Call Registry, it updates. It's every 24 hours it updates. So there is obviously anytime somebody first registers, there'll be gaps. Yes, but we do run, there's also not just one do not call list. So we do run our numbers across multiple do not call lists, and you will get numbers flagged as do not call if they're on those lists.
Milton, good to see you, friend. I know it's been a while since we've done a live. Milton also says many thanks to you both for being here today. Okay, well, I am going to give back some time to Adam and Nate. I know they have a lot going on, but thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you all for joining us. Again, we're doing this quarterly to talk about the features, and do feel free to, again, reach out to us. Go to that request feature portal in DealMachine. Like Nate said, their team checks it a lot, and that's honestly where we get majority, if not all of what we do. So, not last words, that sounds really bad. Any closing thoughts, Adam and Nate?
If you want to talk to me, if you've got problems, questions, nate@dealmachine.com, please email me. I'd be more than happy to take as much time as you need, or go to our feature upvote portal. You'll find links to that in DealMachine. If you go to the tasks page, there's a link to our feature upvote portal. We do read those. We do respond to those. I'm in there 2 or 3 times a week. So those are very actively seen and monitored. But again, at your service, we want to build the best product for you.
Yeah, and yeah, for me, at least, thanks a lot for having me, Nate. It's always a pleasure doing this with you. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. I even sometimes will learn some stuff going through your stuff because I don't get down in there as much as I should. But no, I love doing these. I love talking to our customers. If anybody needs to reach out to me for any reason, you're more than welcome to. It's adam@dealmachine.com. I'm more than happy to speak with you about what's going on, any pain points or whatnot. But normally just go through our CS staff and we'll get to it. So no, Elise, thank you all. Appreciate it. Love doing these.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Have a fabulous afternoon. And as always, happy deal finding.